Hi, this is Dan Bullard, retired electronics engineer sitting on the front deck of my houseboat. I want to do a real short video for you. I found this article on the web. It's Richard Feynman talking about harmonics. Richard Feynman, who helped develop the nuclear bomb for the U.S. He figured out what happened to the space shuttle Challenger that blew up. He figured all that out, the O-rings and all that stuff. But that's not saying a lot. Honestly, military contractors are stupid as hell. Stupid as hell. They don't have a clue what they're doing. It's like they pay big bucks to these people. It's not the amount of money you pay them. But Richard Feynman, who did some amazing things, he's a brilliant guy. He's one of my heroes. But he did an article on harmonics. And you know what? I bested Richard Feynman. Now, he didn't do electronics for his work, right? His work was nuclear physics and a bunch of other things. And teaching, he's one of my favorite guys. There's a movie called Infinity. Matthew Broderick portrayed him. He did a pretty good job. But Feynman he's a brilliant guy. But he did this lecture on harmonics. He doesn't name Percival, and he doesn't really explain it that well. But and I never really did either until recently when somebody let me know that, hey, Percival Identity, 1799. Have you heard of that? No, I haven't heard of that. But I independently figured it out. Feynman never explains anything about where the harmonics are coming from, how the harmonics are generated. It's not really a helpful article, but I think you should read it. I really think you should read it. Read the article, and then read one of my books, or read some of my other articles on LinkedIn, or watch some of my videos. I've made some, I watch my videos pretty much every day, and I made some astounding claims that are provable on my videos. And they're all out there. And hopefully it'll be there for a long time. Feynman's lectures are online. You can watch those. And here's an article on harmonics that Feynman wrote. And he didn't get it right. So I bested Feynman. Okay, now you're going to say that's, plenty of hubris, Bullard. You're coming up with stuff like that. You did not best Feynman. Yes, I did. I bested Feynman. And I bested Tibbetts, and I bested Terry Wilson, and Tony, good old Tony. I bested him. I bested all these people. I'm not going to claim that I'm a genius, although I probably am. But these people are not paying attention. They're just not paying attention. Now, I got lucky. I got pulled into the ATE industry, and I got to use big testers. The GenMed was huge, and I got to use that tester anytime I wanted. Anytime I wasn't teaching a class, I would get to play with the tester, and even when I was teaching the class, I learned new things about the tester as I was going through it. And with all the mixed signal testers, I got lots of tester time. And I had to write in C or Pascal. When I was at Tektronix, I had to write in something called, how do you pronounce it? It was called Delphi, which was a Pascal compiler. And it was kind of a nice thing to go back at the end of my career, to go from Pascal all the way back to Pascal, and with a skip through C and C++. But Delphi, this is hilarious. The people at Tektronix call it Delphi. Now, I don't know about you. It's Delphi. That's how I pronounce it. When I worked for Delco, they changed over. Delco was the electronics branch of GM, and they changed over to Delphi. And that's what they call themselves. And then I go to Tektronix, they call it Delphi. Now, I don't know about you, but, I've heard of Phi Beta Kappa, but I've never heard of Phi Beta Kappa. Never, ever. So, Phi, that's Phi in Greek. I don't know what's wrong with these people at Tektronix, but that's the way Tektronix is. And I was fortunate enough to get to work there. I mean, even when I had bad experiences at a company, I still learned a lot. So I learned a lot at Tektronix. I had a case where we had a matrix board, which basically, it's like this, relay connecting from a line to a pin, and we had a board that failed, and so I went in. They wanted me to send it back to the company, BTS, Basic Test Systems, and I said, no, this is just a relay matrix, I can figure it out. So I went in and figured it out. I did a test and I figured it out, figured out which relay was bad. It could have been a force, it could have been a sense. I figured out which one it was, and I replaced the relay and saved all the shipping, the repair costs. They would bill us a fortune, you know, and I saved the day. And just one relay. We had relays like that laying around all over the place, Kodo relays. But I've done that stuff for years. But that's the kind of thing that Tektronix did. They used to use ribbon cables, and I showed you, look at this picture, you see these ribbon cables here? They had ribbon cables, that was from the guys at Raytheon. They used these ribbon cables, 50 conductor I think. And one guy, the Peruvian guy, he thought it would be a good idea to save cables that were no good. Okay, when you plugged in a cable and it didn't work with an application, he would save it on the theory that, well, you could try it with another application, it might work. Well, what if it doesn't work? You know, these diagnostics and self-tests are not 100% effective. And you could put in a cable that doesn't work, and then you end up shipping a product and putting it in F-16, and the thing goes down and crashes because you used the wrong cable. It's quite possible. So it's the Swiss cheese model of airplanes. One little problem with another little problem, pretty soon you got a straight path through to a failure. So I took this Peruvian guy was telling me about these ribbon cables. Oh, you can save that for another application. You know, it failed here, I don't care. I would take a pair of scissors and I'd cut the cable in half. There, now go buy a new cable. If you buy a new cable, guess what? It's guaranteed to work because they test it before going out the door. But the Peruvian guy, he's still out there. He immigrated to the U.S., brought his mother with him, and oh my God, I think he's a triquint. What a disaster. Anyway, so I just want to tell you that I bested Richard Feynman, yay. And yeah, we got a plane flying overhead. I bested Richard Feynman, brilliant guy, but I beat him. And that makes me a genius. I mean, he's a genius, and I bested him, so I must be a genius. Anyway, it's cold, so I'm going to go back inside. So once again, from the river, this is Dan Bullard. See ya.